just going to run you through a couple of buildings that I've done here in Broadacres Country Estates. We've basically been based in Country Estate for about 5 odd years now, and we've done quite a few houses here. Behind us we have one of the latest houses that we have started building. This house is probably about 2-3 months away from completion. This house is 330 square meters in size. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. What's really nice about buying a house that's in the progress of being built, under construction, is that you can save on transfer duties. And transfer duties on a 2.5-3 million rand house can easily amount to about 250,000 rand. So that's a fantastic savings. And if you are looking around at estates, if you can get hold of a developer and speak to them directly, you can even save more money by cutting out the agent. Commissions are generally in the region of about 4 to 7%. So again, on a 3 million rand house, you can save yourself a good 150,000 rand there, if not more. Broadacres is a fantastic place to be buying houses. The houses are definitely on the increase in value. At the moment, your average house over here being around the 300 square meter range will cost you about 3 odd mil. So the building price of building houses here go for about 10,000 rand a square meter. You can get cheaper developers, but I wouldn't recommend it because you're going to compromise on the quality of your house. When you're shopping around for developers, be very wary. You can get developers with very good prices, you can get very expensive developers, but the best way to establish what developer is right for you is to get references. References is key because you know what, a house can be built and 2 years later you're going to have cracks everywhere, your kitchen might be of poor quality, and those things are major things to fix at a later stage. So when buying a newly built house from a developer, the developer will issue you certain guarantees and warranties, and those might include a guarantee on the kitchen, plumbing, electrical. If anything should happen within a year, it will be his responsibility to rectify those problems. Usually it will be manufacturer guarantees as well that come into play. A very important one, one that's not really used too often, is the NHBRC certificate that gets issued with the house. That offers you a 5-year guarantee against any structural defects. This certificate is really important for 2 different reasons. The one is it allows you to sell the house at a later stage, maybe a year later or 10 years later. You need that certificate. The other is if there are any structural defects in the building and your walls start cracking structurally or your slab starts cracking, NHBRC will cover this with their insurance that they offer on the house. The choices of finishes that a buyer would be entitled to from a developer is really limited to what the developer is willing to compromise on. You know, it can be anything from tiles, color of the house, to the kitchen design. It can be whatever the developer would like you to get involved with. But in general, the developer would like you to stay out as much as possible. The reason for that is any changes causes massive delays. Every single homeowner wants to have the finishes that they always dreamt of, and it can become quite an involved story. However, some really good tips for that would be always, if you are entitled to some finishes, make sure that you get all those taps, light fittings, whatever the developer requires from you on time. A lot of the trends these days in designing houses start with an open plan. People like space. A lot of the other units available on the market from different manufacturers tend to be very small, and when people build their first house or build a house, they like the feeling of space. So open plan is definitely the way to go.